So then we are back with more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end as per Yeshayahu the prophet. We find then a layer of understanding of the 61st chapter, where then there is the completion of the spring feast, mentioning of the autumn feast, and then also the returning of the cities of the Messiah laid waste for many centuries. So then during this time, where then the governments of the world are then transitioning themselves from the time of the 1,000 years of deceit, started in 1009 until 2009, and then the entire financial system is scoundrelized by then bankers, scoundrels, liars and cheaters, gamblers. We find then ourselves transitioning for the direct trade system coming very strongly from the east, as obviously is stated in Daniel, but then you have to read from the Apocrypha, because unfortunately the stupid translators of the scripture did not understand how to pair them or how to layer them. In their ignorance, these translators decided some of the scriptures then would be important, some of them would not be important. The situation is this: ignorant translators did not understand the holy feasts, the holy mikras, Moadim. So then they were absolutely out of the understanding of the translation of the instructions, and then they ended up leaving aside a very important document, the Apocrypha, where you find then sections of Daniel, extremely important. Also Maccabeus, where you find then the second chapter, an area where then Yirmiyahu the prophet then did hid the holy articles, or then the storage of the forever for a time. So then, based from these ignorant scoundrels, though sometimes some of them probably were honest, however, they did not understand how to translate those documents. So then we find ourselves in understanding Daniel on the Apocrypha related with the relationship of the bear and the dragon. So then we understand after 2009 we've entered instantly of a period of time of the dragon. So then when you layer your understanding with Galah or Revelation on the 20th chapter, then you understand those many names of Nahashatan. So then Nahashatan, or adversary, or then serpent, you have to understand distinct facets of these being. We are during his facet of dragon, facet of precision. We are no longer during the time of the Babylonian or Baal devilish facet. This time of the devilish facet is gone, was from 1009 to 2009. So then, rather than being ignorant as the translators were, we studied the holy documents further, so then we are not categorized as stupid as the translators were. So then, we find ourselves watching then the governments desperately trying to find an answer for their problems where there is absolutely no answer for it. The only remediation at the time is, obviously, tracking of parcels, freighters, combining freighting with taxation. So then in 2009, there was already a system started. For instance, let's take for example Bitcoin. Extremely important monetary system. Does not have any link with central bank, governments of any kind. However, the value is extremely high, and it's going to become even higher later when the Chinese system of production is then mixed up with these virtual monetary systems. So then let's understand the distinction from dragon and Baal. Baalian system is a Babylonian system. It didn't work. 1,000 years then did not work whatsoever. So then we find ourselves direct trade system. So what can we expect then from these new system? Very simply, nations then adapting so then they won't go bankrupt. So then in 2009, the Bitcoin system then was generated, indicating what kind of a system would be used in the near future. But then it was not only Bitcoin. It was then the investment system removed the hands of these scoundrels and then directly related with this new monetary system. Now let me ask you this. There are so many people around the world clinging to those old stupid junkies. Let's understand and make sure this is very nicely defined. We are speaking people that are ignorant. During this time, we can't trust anymore and giving the leadership to these ignorant people not concerned with then virtual monetary system. Some people, they are hiding their paper money under their mats yet. Are you going to trust those people? If you are, then you are stupid. Because the world is changing from those junky systems, from writing checks, or from placing then the money under the mat. It's becoming virtual. Now let me ask you this. You take an older person and you ask, do you know what a virtual monetary system is? You know what they give you? That stare of stupid telephone post in front of you because they are ignorant. So then we do not have much time then to take older people by the hand and teach them, no, you don't place your paper money under the mat anymore. Do you know what checks are? You're writing checks? No. Do you know what a credit card is? No. Have you ever used it? No. Do you know what a virtual monetary system is? No. Are we going to trust them? No. We have to get on with the work and start and then tracking parcels. The Asia market and the Brics, they are already dismantling the USD. So then who are the people of the Brics? Then you find Brazil, you find Soviet Union, you find China, India, and South Africa. They want to get rid of the USD. And we are not tracking properly. We do not have a system of tracking of packages yet. And there are people using the Bitcoin system, a virtual monetary system, and purchasing with it, receiving items from it, not taxed. How are the governments going to deal with this? Oh, let's round up the older people and ask them the question. You know, when they don't get their packages, they don't get their Social Security anymore. So what is the plan then, older people? No answer, because they give that stare ignorant in the face. They don't know what it is. And the world is changing. It's not going to be the same as before. So then let's evaluate very precisely, because the Asia market is going to get rid of the USD. And when it does, other countries are also involved, because the Chinese, they are very smart. They are not only using their paper money, they have an equivalent as virtual. We, United States or any other country, mostly they have only an unique money printing system. They don't have virtual. But then try to explain this to the older people. They don't understand. They are ignorant. A lot of them are nice people, no question. But as far as leadership, they're ignorant. So then, rather than destroying our country, we should make sure people get educated. Such as being a computer more often. You know, and not being ostriches to stick their heads in the dirt and thinking, oh, because Because of what? There is a monetary system virtual coming up and people are not prepared. So then let's understand what Daniel the prophet mentioned, because then it's extremely important, pointing of the fact after 2009 we've entered the time of the dragon, time of precision. There is no more devil. There is dragon, precision. There is a direct system excluding scoundrels and devilish people. Try to understand. We are speaking this worldwide market. You earn your money, you do whatever you want with it. You can be devil yourself if you want to do with your own money. System-wise, there is no more devil. There is dragon, precision. You have to have a plan. You have to have a backup system so then backs up your plan. Means dragon. This is what it means. We are speaking of the world, not tabernacling. So then can we cling back to those devilish times? No, we can't, because the system won't let. Our system is becoming obsolete. The time will come very quickly where then the downloading becomes available and the world changes. Then you have then a line of older people asking, oh, what is my money? Where is my money? Huh? Didn't you study before? What are you asking? They are not bad people, but they don't have the knowledge. Then they stare at an honest face, what is going on? Or didn't you study before? We are in a crisis. We are simply not able to hold the value of your paper money. There is a virtual system with other values. And our country is not able then to maintain its own system. So then let's understand then and teach them what it means, the Bitcoin system. But then some people, they are hiding their paper money under the mat. And then someday comes, then the money has no value. It's only a piece of paper. Watch what goes on in the world. The Brics system, they want to get rid of USD. Then becomes a virtual market. And then, if these countries using paper money, they don't understand then the virtual system, how are they going to adjust themselves before it? The other day there was a debate on television, and then the responsible for the Bitcoin system was talking with a person in Texas. And it was amazing, the remarks of this ignorant guy from Texas. His claim was, because the financial system is in such an uproar and people are not then wanting to trust their funding in another kind of a system. Precisely the reason why they are doing, because the existing system is a piece of junk. It's not working. We are not earning enough taxes to maintain our system. Our government is a monstrosity and can't maintain itself. So then, when the system becomes available, then people download on their computers, and then the government is out. Because they have no record. There is no record. People stuck with the paper money, they are stuck with the bank. Ignorantly stuck with the bank. They think of paper money, go to the bank. Bank does not exist. So when you confront an older person, kindly mention, what do you do with your paper money? I go to the bank. Granddad, it doesn't exist anymore, bank. Have you realized? Then obviously it gives that stare in the face, is stupid as a telephone post. Doesn't understand. Bank does not exist. It's a virtual system in the computer outside of the banking system. Do you understand? No. And that's precisely what's coming. And that story of mixing up the Bible because a person is older, or because you should never question an older person with gray hairs. Are we speaking of the set apart, learning the instructions? Do you know that those verses are only for the set apart? Only related in Hebrews, studying the Torah? It does not meant for the rest of the world. Only for the set apart. Great news for some people, because they thought, oh, you can count your gray hairs, because if you have gray hairs, then you're higher than the other. Wrong. If you have a gray hair, don't understand, you do not want to understand, then you are stupid. With gray hair or not. So let's make sure the older people, they don't provoke the younger people, because older people, they have no knowledge. And the system is coming where then there is no older people. If you don't know the system, then you are out. No more banking. And worse yet, the Social Security won't exist. So let's make sure we come to an equalization of what people think, this because it's older, then it's more important than the other. It is not. If you are an older person, you should be obligated of having the updated instructions of what goes on in the world. Do you know what a virtual monetary system is? No. How are you going to give advice to other people? So let's make sure the level becomes leveled properly. You don't use Bible crap, scripture junk, mixed up with Constantine's clubs, thinking, because you have gray hair, more important than the other. It does not work that way. Those are only related with the set apart. Hebrews, in the holy cities, is studying the Torah. Let's make sure to get rid of this Bible junk when it comes to ignorance of older people. They are dependent upon the newer people, but they have to give them some slack so they can do the work. Otherwise, later, not only the system is in chaos, then you have a line of older people asking questions. Where's my money? Where is your money? Didn't you have time then when you were retired to study computers? Do you know what banking is? Virtual banking? I have no idea what it is. Did anybody explain to you? I didn't understand. Well, Auntie, get over and get on the computer. Start learning. Got no more time for this junk old crap. We are in a big danger. The Brics system and other countries are then trying to get rid of USD because it's paper money. The market is not holding the value anymore. What you've learned when you were a child is not the same as today. So rather than having an army training at your face, very rough, take the time to go to the computer and learn it. Ask your son, your daughter, or granddaughter, or grandson, how this virtual monetary system works. Because the dragon plays no games. You know, when we are involved with ignorant people, we are involved with devilish people. When people have the resources and they don't learn, then they are devils. It's a fact that nobody, in fact, thought much of it. They thought, it's a form of respect. You don't force people to learn. No. When it comes to a running of a country, if you have no knowledge, you are devilish, because you have the knowledge to get more knowledge. Not saying they are bad people. They are not bad people. But they become bad people when they refuse to learn. There is no more banking. The bank became virtual. So then, kindly take your time and log on bitcoin.org and learn. The new system has no linking with the treasury, no linking with the bank, no linking with the government. The only way for the government of receiving taxes from a system such as these is via tracking of the parcels and taxation instantly. Otherwise, there is no way of knowing, firstly, what's in the box, volume of the boxes. Is there then enough space for the storage of boxes via this system when people purchase and government has no idea? And then you find 10 ships trying to track over there at the dock, and then no space. They have no depot. Not only this, the government has no tracking of it other than the freighter. And sometimes freighters, they have the description of the items. They don't have pricing or taxation. What are they going to do? Throw the military in front of the cargo ships? Is our Navy going to stand in the front of the cargo ships? Now let's ask the question. A person is using a virtual monetary system when there is no record with treasury or banking or government. They make a legal purchase via online, where then the store of they're receiving in BTC, Bitcoin system, they purchase the item is then obviously sent and no taxation. And the package must be delivered. Then multiply these by 100,000, 900,000, or 12 digits of number of people ordering at the same time. What is it going to cause at the port? What is it going to cause at the airport? What about ground shipments? How the government is going to deal with it and not receiving taxes in return? So let's round up the other people. Let's ask, we have 20 ships over there trying to dock at the docks. Where are we going to place all of those packages? Do you have space in our house? Plus, can you pay the government to do the work without receiving any taxation? The system is very critical as it is. We are not tracking as we should have. Taxation and freighting must be combined instantly. So then the government must have a visit with the freighters of our country and have these freighters land their tracking system. So the government then obviously uses these tracking systems for the purposes of taxation. So any person generating any package anywhere in the world coming to this country then is received taxation instantly. So then via either by USD yet active, the government gets taxes. Or a virtual system. Also they get taxes because it gets tracked during the time of the labeling. So then we can avoid chaos in our country, because thus far not even the Secret Service they will know, because they don't. Thus far, if a person purchases an item via internet using BTC, Bitcoin system, purchases a computer, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stores receiving in BTC. Government has no control. Then a places in the computer drugs and guns, ships it out. The government has no record. The only record available is from the person making the purchase and the freighter. The government has no information from the freighter. A person receives drugs and guns via package. Those are not tracked. And then when the new system becomes available via downloading, then everybody wants to make purchases with the new system. How the government is going to have a record? 10, 20, 30, 50 times more packages, no control of any of them, no tracking of any kind, and no taxation. China is working both ways. They have their monetary system by paper and also the virtual. Both of them with the same value. If one goes to hack the paper money and banking mixed up with it, obviously won't. Not theirs. But then, if so, by a remote chance, they have the virtual. We have nothing. We have only the paper money system, and it's absolutely devaluing. The only reason why the inflation is not so bad is because the volume of generation of paper money is so big, then you don't find anymore such much inflation. But it's coming because the holding of the value is not maintaining. And there is no substitute with a virtual monetary system yet. So then taxation and freighting must be absolutely hand-to-hand. Not only this, but then our government should work in such a fashion where then USDV, some sort of US monetary system virtual with another set of values then similar of the Bitcoin system. Similar. Because then when the new system becomes available, then at least we can match. Thus far we have nothing. We have only paper money and a government absolutely out of control. A monstrosity of government not able to maintain itself. And there we find the Brics system already trying to get rid of the USD. What do you think it's coming? If we force the military in a situation, how is the military going to stand in front of a cargo ship purchased with a virtual system? The Navy can't be in front of the ship. The people have a contract with the freighter until the package is delivered. Would you want to be responsible for the freighter on the other side of the line? And then the admiral over there, giving orders, standing in front of the cargo ship. Oh, okay. Admiral, you got somebody on the line who wants to speak with you. And then comes the person, why are you standing in front of my ships? And then the admiral must answer it. Not only this, but it's not coming only a ship. 10, 20, 30 ships trying to dock at the same time. Where are they going to find space? Well, what do they know of the system? Do they know what's in the packages? And then if we try to rough it up, then we can be sure of it. This time we are encircled. What would be then the Chinese next step? Joining up with the Soviet Union. Then you have both militaries joining up against us. Then you find DRC with the most Khotan joining up with the Soviets and the Chinese. Then you find Cuba joining up the whole system. That's why Cuba has held for so long. Then you have a patrol post in Cuba. And then how we are going to stop regular cargo ships? You can't do it. Because there is a legal contract of the buyers and the freighters. The packages must be delivered. Why is the government going to say, because you have no space, you have to deal with it? The government must clear up a place over there in the forest, must make sure those packages are covered, counted for, and delivered. They can't stand in the front of cargo ships. Those are legal packages, legal parcels, must be delivered.